It is denatured cocaine in Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It's like decaf. It's decocainated. They just made it illegal to jack up the price. And that's what the global warming carbon tax is. They're going to tax the daylights out of it. They're going to say it's bad for the earth. Carbon dioxide that you exhale is a toxic waste. No, it's not. It's what plants breathe. There is oil everywhere. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, they drill all over Texas. And almost everywhere they drill, depending on how deep they go. I mean, there's an oil field from Fort Worth down to Houston. Everywhere they drill, they're hitting oil at 2-3 levels and natural gas. It's just, look, my family's from Texas, okay? Both my grandfathers worked as roughnecks, right out of college. And then one of my grandpas was after that, a lease hound going around trying to get oil leases on people's property. In New Mexico, they lived in, what's the town? Roswell. They lived there. Crazy story my grandma told. We're coming back the day after Christmas from Ruidoso about 4 years ago. We've been skiing, and we got an RV, my parents, my grandma, last living grandparent. We all drive out to Ruidoso, and one of my daughters, who only had one daughter at the time, got a cold. We knew high altitude, 9,000 feet, wasn't good for a cold. Chest cold. So we came home. So day after Christmas, we're sitting there in Roswell at a Denny's with horrible service. Took them like an hour and a half to bring us eggs or something. And we're sitting there, and she goes, oh, yeah, I remember when Bill, that's my grandfather, worked in the petroleum building right there. I forget for what oil company. And back in 1947 or whatever, when Biff, that's my mother's brother, was born. I was like, I didn't even know you lived in New Mexico. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember now. You were, And then I was like, hey, do you remember the Roswell crash? That's when that happened. And she said, I don't remember anything about that, but I remember when they had something under a big tarp on a truck, and they said it was martial law, and there were soldiers with machine guns in the town. How weird is it my grandmother was in Roswell and all that went on? And I don't cover UFOs. Well, I don't know what happened. Point is, it's funny. Oh, now it's going to be that I'm working for the aliens. Actually, that's already been said before. They have it on good authority. I am actually not a Vatican assassin or an Israeli agent. I'm actually a reptoid, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, even if I am a reptoid, still the bankers are ruling us. We got to do something about it. Exposing that I'm a reptoid isn't going to save us. We have to get motivated and take action against the New World Order. And if we don't let them get us all fighting with each other, and if we just move forward against the globalists and what their policies are, whether it's reptoids from Planet Pop-Tart or whoever that runs it, then we can get all Americans and people of the world together to defeat globalization, which is global tyranny. All right, I'm going to talk to Tim. I'm going to talk to Dave. I'm going to talk to Wendy, to Tony, and Kirk. And that'll be it for calls until I finish all the news, because we've got new huge developments in censorship by YouTube. Just ultra-massive open announcements. No more videos, period, on Google. It's been announced. It's been announced. I told everybody this. They are shutting the web down piece by piece. They're just flipping switches. Imagine like 100 switches, and they're going every week another switch. And we're like, well, look, New York Times says they're shutting the web down as we knew it to take away free speech for our safety and to be gatekeepers. And they're flipping the switches. And Jay Rockefeller says they got to shut the web down. They're flipping switches. And I'm going, And they got bills introduced to charge you with felonies if someone says it hurt their feelings what you said. Flipping switches. I'm going, And the public's still, shut up, reptoid. And I'm like, man, listen, we got serious stuff to talk about here. And I understand why people kind of psychologically sometimes divert off serious issues into kind of sub stuff, because this is scary. And I got the government's run white slavery rings coming up. I do, though, right now with PrisonPlanet.tv viewers and radio listeners. If you're just a radio listener, not a PrisonPlanet.tv member, you should become one. I mean, 5+ years up and running, 22 films, hundreds and hundreds of video reports, expanded extras just for PrisonPlanet.tv members. I'm going to announce tomorrow the new film that goes on pre-sale that'll be shipping in 14 days. But it's a little quick film I made, but it's very good. A special subject that's coming up. So visit Infowars.com. And when you're on the shopping cart, folks, look at this beauty. And again, if you are not watching us at PrisonPlanet.tv, you can go to Infowars.com and click on the T-shirt banner at the top and look at that. I figured since It's an act of terrorism, and people, I'm going to warn you, are being detained, are being arrested for wearing these. I mean, because the Founding Fathers wore them, and everybody knows that's bad. Don't tread on me, ladies and gentlemen. And all it's saying is leave my liberty and my freedoms alone. And here is the back. It's got Thomas Jefferson, which I have FEMA saying on tape was evil. Third president of the U.S., the Tree of Liberty. Of course, you're really the terrorist criminal, so we're not going to let your chilling effect work. The Tree of Liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson, Infowars.com. Okay, that's one of the new shirts. Look at this sucker right here. Got a Minuteman, another terrorist on the front. He wouldn't turn his guns in. Paul Revere, Live Free or Die, New Hampshire motto. Again, they say you're a terrorist. They've got bills introduced where people that are put on a conservative list will not be able to own guns, an extremist list. Mainstream news, see, they're just like they made Jews wear yellow stars. The New World Order always picks out a group to persecute first. And I get the Obama people emailing me going, yeah, you right-wing bastard, we need to arrest you. We're glad your YouTube channels are being shut down left and right. You're an evil racist. And I'm like, it's Obama that keeps saying race to inject that in people's brains. But these are great because you meet like-minded people wearing these T-shirts. Patriots are everywhere. Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com folks are everywhere. You wear this at college. People keep asking how to socially network, and I haven't gotten that set up yet on the website, so this is the next best thing. Believe me, you start wearing shirts like this, you're going to find the Patriot girls and the Patriot boys. So girls, get you a T-shirt. Boys, get you a T-shirt. Or you go to political events, go to the tea parties with this. Come and take it. This is the Texas Gonzales flag. They were coming to confiscate the guns from the people of Gonzales, Texas, south of Austin. This is where the war started. Then they ran to the Alamo, and the rest is history. But come and take it. There's a war on for your mind. Arm yourself, Infowars.com. Instead of this having a cannon or an old musket on it, the 1836 Gonzales flag, we got a Kalashnikov there on the best and most inexpensive gun you can get for the price, and Infowars.com on the back. And then this one is great. It shows a white guy and a red guy, and the red guy, the commie, really works for the bankers. He's got his gun to the head of the person with a bag of money, his property. And it's just socialism. It's real simple. It's sticking you up. And the bankers get 99% of it, and their slaves get, 1% to help them rob the people. Socialism. Defend yourself. Infowars.com, and on the back, Infowars.com. And folks, believe me, these shirts will certainly get the conversation going. This is our newest one, this yellow one. And, all right, enough of the blue light special, but you can also call and get it, 888-253-3139. I could rant for 10 hours straight, and I've done 6-hour shows here before. But, the meter's running on this radio show, the big crew of 3 people out there, the 2 IT guys, everything. These are great materials, great T-shirts, great videos, the Obama Deception, Truth Rising, Fabled Enemies, Endgame, Terror Storm, and we got to pay for all this. We're under attack. I mean, we're getting hack attacks, you name it. So please financially support us. And don't forget the Money Bomb. Second annual Money Bomb to be used to expand the TV studio with an official TV studio and get us the time. We got to pay for it on Dish Network. We spent the money we had, built this, moved into bigger digs. Not enough. The place next door is open. We're going to expand with that Money Bomb if you will do it. And 100% of that Money Bomb will go into the fight against the New World Order. So details on that are at Infowars.com. You can go ahead and pledge to give or go ahead and start giving. And the goal is $250,000. Sounds like a lot, but it's not when you're actually doing this. Again, our IT bill's $20,000 a month just for the CDNs, about $30,000 total. But side issue. Speaking of patriots and people that make this show possible, there's nobody out there, except for God above, but no mortal man out there more responsible for helping me get the word out and everything I do. The affiliates, the listeners, the sponsors, all a big part of it. But Ted Anderson, I was on 98.9 KJFK in 1996. I started out on TV in 1995. And Ted Anderson of Midas Resources, I was interviewing people like Mark Kornke and John Stadtmiller and Patriot leaders on my radio show here in Austin. And Ted Anderson was the main sponsor of a little bitty satellite network that happened to be on shortwave and a few AM and FMs. And I got on that, and then Ted expanded it, set up a new network in 98, and has been there behind me all along, and has literally been at the point 5-6 years ago where he had to mortgage his house to keep the network going. And, you know, he's been in the precious metal business for 31 years, and he's gone from almost going bankrupt to now being one of the fastest growing and one of the biggest of the top 10 gold and silver brokers in the country. And he's done that, and we're going to spend just a few minutes with him and go back to your calls and get into all that news I promised. He's been able to do that because Ted Anderson buys when gold and silver is low and then sells it at the low price when it's high. That's Ted Anderson's secret. Everybody else, not everybody, but everybody I know, believe me, I shop around. When I buy some gold and silver, which I do every few months, a few coins here, a few coins there, because you can't trust the banks, folks. They're devaluing the currency. I've shopped around, and I've never found a better deal than I can get from Ted. Because other places, when gold goes up, they buy low too, and they sit there and hoard it. When gold goes up, they raise the price. When silver goes up, they raise the price.